Okay, let's just jump right in, because the story here is, it's just incredible.
It really is.
You know that feeling when you find some piece of old hardware and it's not just an object, it's
Yeah.
like, it's a whole philosophy you can hold in your hands.
That's the Multi-Terra 407
Mhm.
in a nutshell.
Yeah.
I mean, for vehicle historians, it's a legend. And then to have its control panel, a real verifiable piece of it, show up in a YouTube video.
Sitting on a shelf at a Goodwill.
Exactly. It just adds another layer to the whole myth of this thing.
Absolutely. And the second you lay eyes on that dash, you get it. This is not a car. It's a command center.
Mm-hmm.
There are no cute icons, no menus to dig through. It's just this brutal promise of function. The labels read like a mission brief, not instructions.
And that interface, it really tells you everything about the 407's core idea.
Hmm.
This machine is fundamentally not there to hold your hand.
Right.
It's a system that just assumes you're competent, assumes
Yeah.
you're trained,
Yeah.
and then every so often it kind of tests that assumption.
And that's our mission for this deep dive. We're going to break down this control panel piece by piece and really decode the philosophy of the 407, from how you start it up to its most legendary features.
Let's start with the look of it, the aesthetics, because
Yeah.
they aren't just for show.
Not at all. I mean, you look at modern vehicles, everything is a sleek touchscreen. But the 407's dash is built in what you'd call phases, not menus.
Physical phases. It's grouped by what you're actually doing. Transit over here, energy management here, extraction tools right there.
It's designed so you can use it when you're tired, when you're wearing gloves, when things are, going wrong.
They chose speed of understanding over looking slick. It's like a physical checklist from a time when you couldn't afford to misinterpret an icon.
And nothing says that louder than the labels themselves. These duotone label strips.
Yeah.
They look like they were made with a really, really nice industrial label maker. Glossy, embossed. It feels like something from an office. It shouldn't work.
But it does. And that dissonance is the whole point. Think about it. Why use label strips instead of, say, etching the plastic?
I don't know, cost.
No, it's honesty. These weren't put there by a marketing department. They were hand-placed, probably by an engineer, who needed the operator to be able to read plasma charge under extreme stress and have zero ambiguity about it.
So the handmade vibe is actually a feature. It's a commitment to clarity.
It is. It speaks to the machine's whole reputation. Other vehicles chased comfort. The 407 chased certainty.
Tactile certainty.
Unambiguous certainty. Which brings us to the startup sequence. Because you need that certainty from the absolute first second.
Okay, so there are these two big switches, right, where your hand would naturally fall. You don't even have to look.
And this two-step process tells you everything about the 407's priorities.
So the first one is primary engage. And what's wild is that it doesn't start the engine. It wakes the system backbone. What is that? What does that even mean?
It's the machine's self-check. Primary engage is like the 407 taking a deep breath. It powers up the distribution bus, it checks all the safety interlocks, runs diagnostics, and, most importantly, it makes sure the power cells are stable.
So it's making sure it's ready for what comes next.
It's confirming its own integrity before it'll even let you think about moving.
And only after that's done, you go to the second switch, engine release. And that word choice, it's so loaded.
It is.
You don't turn it on, you release it. Why?
Because it's conditional. The machine is basically saying, okay, I'm stable, I've checked myself out, now I'm handing you propulsion. It's a statement of trust. It's satisfied it won't tear itself apart under load.
So if you try to hit engine release first,
Nothing happens. The interlocks won't let you. It forces you to do it right every single time.
and once it's released, you don't just have park reverse drive, you have doctrines.
Exactly. And you feel it.
Yeah.
The lever has this heavy mechanical resistance that changes with each mode. You have cruise, which is, your standard steady economical mode.
Right, polite.
Almost polite, yeah. But then you shift into the modes that built its reputation, like evade.
Which sounds like it's for, evading things. High speed, quick turns.
It's more than just speed, though. In evade, the system actually overclocks the reaction time of its stabilizers, and it shunts more power to individual wheel cells for torque. It's about agility under fire.
Okay, and then cross M, the notes on this one just say, don't ask, just clear it.
Yeah, that one's serious. It's not just maximum torque. Cross M is the system's get out of my way button. It momentarily overrides safety governors on ground clearance and pitch.
So it'll just smash through something.
If there's a big obstacle, it'll use a burst of energy to either lift over it or, yes, blast through it.
Yeah.
It accepts a bit of structural stress to guarantee forward momentum.
Wow. But the one that made the 407 a legend, fold plane.
Ah, fold plane.
The sources say it's less like driving and more like rearranging the argument between here and there.
That's a good way to put it. Functionally, it's the most energy-intensive mode by far. It seems to modulate the energy flow to a point where it sort of overrides inertia for a split second.
So it's not teleporting, but it's...
It's a short, controlled burst of movement that makes the distance you travel feel much shorter than it actually was, a way to cross a dangerous exposed area in the blink of an eye.
And you feel that shift. You feel the whole vehicle kind of inhale before it does it.
The feedback is everything, which brings us to the controls that made this thing infamous, the energy discharge systems.
The labels are just right there. Plasma charge and STX discharge. Let's start with the charge. It's described as a ritual. Why a ritual?
Because you can't just press it. The operator has to manually watch these analog dials as the pressure builds. You're coaxing this enormous power out of the Helio-cells. If you rush it or hold it too long,
Bad things happen.
catastrophic things. To the discharge node, maybe to the whole cell pathway, it forces you to be disciplined to respect the power you're building.
And when it's built, you have the STX discharge. You should probably define what STX is.
Right. Based on what we can piece together, it stands for Spectral Transmission X-band. This is the punctuation mark, the hard-edged, no-nonsense output.
The delivery. And the sources are clear. These aren't just weapon buttons.
No, they're an energy pathway, a tool. You could use it for force, sure, but also for precision cutting or clearing heavy obstacles. It's directed power that demands respect.
And then, in complete contrast to that very loud capability, you have a button that just says active camouflage.
So blunt, isn't it?
No fancy name, just, oh, here's a...
And it's crucial to understand it's not invisibility, not like in the movies. The 407 system is about negotiating with observation.
Meaning?
It bends attention, it dulls its own contrast, manages its heat signature. It makes the obvious thing, this giant machine, become perceptually forgettable. You'd look right at it, your brain would just glide over it.
So it's the difference between being invisible and being successfully ignored.
Precisely. Which leads us to why it was built in the first place. The 407 wasn't just a transport, it was a taker. It was built to go out and come back with proof.
The scientific tools.
The scientific tools. You see the control for the core drill, which has this big physical lock-in state.
Why the lock-in?
Because the ground might not cooperate. The lock-in engages magnetic anchors, it reroutes power to internal dampeners. It commits the entire vehicle to absolute stability and makes sure the ground can't disagree with the extraction.
And right next to that huge heavy-duty control, there's this tiny indicator light.
Samples fully contained.
Just a little green light.
And that light, that's the whole soul of the machine right there. It wasn't just built to get somewhere. It was built to extract, verify, and preserve. That light is the promise that the mission was a success.
And this idea of commitment, of locking things in, brings us to maybe the most unique piece of hardware on the dash, the CLS latch.
The coordinate locking system, yes.
They say flipping this latch actually changes the mood in the cabin.
It does. The vehicle gets quieter. Not in sound, but in system noise. It's like it stops all non-essential processes and just listens. It's focusing all its energy on its precise location.
And we have to be clear, this is not just navigation.
Not at all. Navigation tells you where you are. Coordinate locking is about commitment. It transforms the 407 from a vehicle into a fixed point in space. It pins its location into its operational truth.
It's like a contract.
It is a contract that says, this is where we are, and that fact is now unimpeachable regardless of what happens to GPS or anything else.
And by flipping that latch, the operator is the one who signs that contract.
Always. The human has the final say, which, strangely enough, leads us to the weirdest accessory the 407 ever had.
The OVM.
The orbital velocity match. This is the little object that collectors go crazy for.
Right. It looks like an old master lock padlock, right, with a big dial on it.
Exactly. It's kept right on the dash, like a good luck charm. But it's a precision instrument.
But why? In a machine with fold plane and active camo, why do you need this analog dial for orbital mechanics?
It's a tactile translator. The 407 often needed high-speed data from orbital platforms, especially when the CLS was engaged. The OVM lets the operator feel the alignment for the satellite link.
So you're turning complex math
into micro-corrections. You can set with your thumb. It's the ultimate backup. If the digital links get scrambled, you, the human, can physically dial in a connection to the outside world.
It's pure mechanical certainty.
It is. It's the whole philosophy in one object. The 407 was built to survive by trusting mechanical feedback and direct human engagement. not just automation.
It really brings it all together, doesn't it? The handmade labels that you're meant to read under pressure, the traverse modes you feel in your wrist, the CLS latch. It
Mhm.
all rewards your competence by giving you final authority.
It's about unambiguous feedback, physical commitment, tactile command. The operator isn't just a driver, they're an essential component of the machine itself.
Which leaves you with a pretty deep question to think about. The 407's true strength wasn't in replacing the human, but in relying on the operator to know the checklist, to be perfect. So what does it say about that era that they built a machine that would occasionally test your claim of competence rather than just blindly accepting it?